Okay, ignore the wet hair, I just had a shower. We're gonna do some oshinoko today. This series has been so good. If you want to know my context on what I know and like my relationship with the oshinoko series, you can watch the previous videos. I'm not gonna explain it in every video. But last episode, we ended with Kana showing up to Aqua and Ruby and being like, oh my god, you guys are here, and saying to Aqua, like, you're in the performing arts thing, right? And then he was like, nope. Sorry. So we're gonna be getting into this episode. I'm just so excited. This series has been done with so much love. Every little aspect of this series just feels like it's beaming with love, which is absolutely perfect for a story like this. Especially like it's a pretty like dialogue heavy story. And so for a studio to take that and still put so much love and energy into the animation of it and the character designs and everything, it's absolutely gorgeous. So let's jump into episode 3. If you want to watch the full-length reaction, it's on my Patreon account in the description below. There's also early access on there. And exclusive videos, so you can go check all of that out. And if you like my Oshinoko reactions, I recommend you check out a bunch of the other stuff on my channel. I have a lot of good series. If I was to give you a recommendation, I think my Legend of Korra reactions are kind of popping off. They're probably my best series in terms of like me reacting to it, I think. So if you want a recommendation, there's one. So yeah, let's jump into Oshinoko episode 3. Here we go. This is such a good OP. I don't need one. I recapped it in my reaction intro. Oh my god. Loli senpai. Oh my god, look at the animation on Kana. Whoa, she changed art styles like 3 times. That's great. And I'm trying to ignore you. Look at how hopeful she is now. Smiley and surprisingly nice compared to her as a kid. Aww.
Oh, arima, Kana.
Ah, cool. Yeah, you're not famous enough for me to have noticed. Her design is so cute. Oh my god. So quiet. Oh, no, never mind. I like how her tone changed even more polite while talking to the mother. Oh my god, look at her eyes! Oh, really? Damn! Nice! It's a bit better than the idol industry. Oh, really? You think you got that much sway? I'll go with sweet today. You know it? That was very cute. Really? Kaburagi. Messiah Kaburaki. Oh shit. This is triggering. Can't get in. Oh. Ah. Damn. That is... Yeah. No way. No way you can get the right amount. That would be millions of combinations. Oh! He got it. God damn, after 4 years. Nice.
多少問題のある現場だから覚悟はしてね。
it can get problematic. That's not something you want to hear before getting into a project. Just so you know, some of them are kind of creepy and will treat you horribly. Hopefully you enjoy being on the Ellen show. Publicities and telling Ruby the one in your house. That's not why he's doing it though. It just happens to be the easiest method for him. One star? Was that what it had? It's only got one star. Yeah, he looks like a villain. Right, oh, this is part of the show. I thought we were just seeing into a room. It's kind of lame. He's not a very good actor. I just realized they have matching twin sweaters. That's cute. Yeah, they made changes. So they cut a bunch and they added a bunch of new characters. That's a bad combination. Yeah, then why aren't you acting well? Yeah. That's a very mature thing to think. Oh, they're so good with eyes in this show. Holy shit. That's what he was told when he was young. She's grown so much. Cool. Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah, now you're the reason he's doing it. Aww, that's cute. You have to make the last episode fucking good just for her sake. Yeah, it's got a lot going for it. It just one big problem. Oh, look at the eye. That's awesome. He's a little bit prissy. Okay, cool. Cool, man. I like how she's trying to help him along. Oh, is this Kaburagi? He should have just reached out and pulled out a big chunk of his hair right there. I love just hearing about the industry like this. Yeah. At least you have someone to base it off. The eye. Oh, cool. The water dropping on him really threw him off. He's got such a high standard, especially because of I. And... yeah. Your body hasn't quite caught up to your mental age. You should be at least in your late 20s until that happens. She's so sweet. That happens sometimes. Sometimes people act as actors, you know. What great character animation on that monologue. Is there a butt coming? Okay, maybe not a butt. Oh, there is kind of a butt. They don't like that she's holding them to too high a standard. Even though she's just trying to make a good show. They're using her, which is show business sometimes. But... Ah, good! Nice. That's better than pulling out his hair. Hell yeah, Aqua. Ah, it's so good. Man, some of the stuff I want to talk about is stuff that's going to happen rather than what has happened. So I'm just gonna have to wait on that. But yeah, I mean, good episode. This is a thing. I wonder at this point in the show what Oshinoko's viewership is going to continue to be like, because we know that the first episode was well renowned. Like everyone who watched it raved about it online pretty much. And it like boosted itself up in popularity very quickly just from the pure buzz of that first episode. And I mean, rightly so. Incredible first episode of the show. But the thing is, you know, the show isn't going to be twists and turns and crazy, emotional, heart-wrenching things every episode, right? That was an incredible prologue that gets you invested in these characters in this story. And it does that very effectively. But what I also like about the story is it takes its time and like lets, you know, and it's a show about the industry, and it's focusing on the industry. So you know, it lets that stuff be the forefront of the show currently. But I wonder how, like, what people will do and how they'll feel about that as the show goes on. Because I mean, I'm not saying that the first episode is like the best it ever gets. Like, I think there's some incredible moments coming up in this show. There's a lot of great moments in Oshinoko. But I do wonder if people are gonna watch an episode like this, where it's like the entire episode is just Kana and Aqua talking, and it's about this TV drama that we just learned about in this episode. And I mean, it still has like the murder mystery type thing ongoing with him meeting Kaburagi and trying to get DNA from him. But that's very much on the back burner. Like, him getting the DNA, that wasn't a difficult thing, you know? He was like, I just need to get in here to get close to him, and then he just took it from one of his cigarettes. Like, he didn't have to sneak around. It was very easy to do. So it's very clear that that's not the point of what we're watching here. But what it is it's this great story about the industry and about this actor who was a bratty child actor, and she changed herself to be easier to work with, but the reputation she had built up and also the momentum that she had, it all just fell flat, and she had a big dry spell. And I think that's like a thing that, like, there's a lot in this show that I'll relate to in different ways from different characters, because when characters are really well written, you can find yourself relating to a lot of different parts of a lot of them. And with Kana, like, I relate to like having had an opportunity in your life or a moment where things were going really well, and then suddenly things start to taper off and they're not going as well, you know? I've run things in the past that were very successful and doing very well, and then because of some parts of the universe that was like, you know, it's partly bad luck, but it's also partly my own mismanaging it and being not intelligent or experienced enough to be able to handle that situation. It falls off, and it's, you know, it's something that I have to look back on and I have to deal with. But then I sit down and I go like, okay, well, oh my god, where am I going to go from here? And I think that's what Kana's doing right now. She's like, do I stop acting, or do I like go deep dive into it and find what I love about acting and really go into it? And what she loves is putting on a good performance. She really cares about putting on a good performance, but a good performance to her isn't her being the star and her shining anymore. It might have been when she was a kid, but now it's a performance that will make the show as good as it can possibly be. And I think that's a really cool way that she's sort of matured and changed. And I mean, that has some flaws in itself, but for the most part, I mean, yeah, if this show was like a bunch of really, really terrible actors and she was doing like incredibly, it would really show off how bad everyone is around her. So it might actually make the entire product worse, because people will start to notice just how truly bad those other guys are and they'll be like, she's the only decent actor on this thing. They might not even think she's that good, because like she still, you know, has to be in this series surrounded by bad actors, but they'll say that she's the only decent actor in this series. And I mean, yeah, maybe it would help her career, because people would be like, oh well, she was the only good part of this, so let's take her from that. But it also might hurt her career, because it will make the entire show look worse and plummet even further. And then it's like, well, she was the lead actor in this show that was very bad, and we couldn't tell why it was bad, but it just was. So who knows? But I do like I don't like it in the way that I think it's very annoying and bad, but it's very interesting when we see like producers chatting in episodes like this, and they're saying how, well, this one's just, you know, this show's just being made for promotional material. Like, it doesn't really matter if it's good or not. Like, it's such a sad thing, because as Aqua said, like, the crew on this seem very good overall, you know? Like, there's some directing choices that were inspired and were trying to hide some of the bad parts of it, and there were apparently script choices that were kind of good, and like there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes of the show that show that the crew kind of knows what they're doing, and they might have a lot of talent going there, and yet sometimes things are mismanaged, sometimes things are real bad, you know? It reminds me of, you know, some shows like if you look at like Wonder Egg Priority, I guess, like that show seems like a really great crew and a lot of great creative people working on it, that fell off towards the end, seemingly because of like studio mismanagement, and that's a really, you know, a really upsetting thing, because there's some people who put their all into it, and their work now isn't talked about as much anymore, because people don't really talk about Wonder Egg Priority anymore, because people didn't really like how it ended, and they released like a special afterwards, and that had an even weirder like ending that wasn't really an ending and didn't give any satisfying conclusion, you know? Like, there are sometimes these moments where some people put in a lot of work to something, and just because of one or two things higher up the chain than them, it's screwed up from the start. Or not from the start, but it's screwed up. And it's really sad. It's a sad part about the industry, you know? Like, it's hard for us to acknowledge certain bits of a piece of media if we don't like the media as a whole because of a decision that was made or because of how the higher ups treated it. So yeah, that's really upsetting and sad. But anyway, doesn't matter, because next episode he said he's going all out. He's gonna give it his all. He's gonna actually put some effort into this, because he needs to prove himself, and he needs to prove Kana. Like, he needs to validate her, I guess, which I think is very sweet, because we spend this entire episode seeing things from her perspective and seeing how she's changed. She needs a W. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this reaction. If you enjoyed it, can you please make sure to support the video as best you can, like the video, commenting, subscribing, all of that stuff really helps me out. And my Patreon account has full-length early access and exclusive videos. There's a lot of stuff down there. It's super useful, so go down there and check it out. Thanks for watching this episode. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.